everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Voice It Out Broadcast Network, where we inspire change by helping you blow beyond boundaries. My name is Wangele Njeri. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for being here in our channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Today we are going to have a deeper understanding of about things to do with self-doubt and motivating yourself to achieving your goals. By now, I'm sure you have already watched part one of this, and there were a few things here and there that we learned. So ensure you've also watched that video so that you can link up with it with today's video. And for that to happen, I've been joined by a special guest who will be introducing herself. She'll be helping us maneuver in this topic. So ensure you stick along, ensure you share this video, ensure you tell your friend to tell your friend to tell your friend.
My name is Joyce Ngoi. I'm the Director Office of Career Services here in Chuka University. I'm a psychological counselor and a career counselor.
Thank you so much, Madam Joyce, for your time.
Yes.
And for being here with us.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe to begin with, what is self-doubt?
Self-doubt is not believing in yourself, not believing in yourself, not believing in your capabilities, not believing that you can. So you generally doubt yourself. You generally don't have trust in yourself. You don't have trust in your capabilities. You don't have trust in anything that you do. You are doubting yourself. You're doubting yourself. Nobody else doubts you but you yourself.
Yes.
You doubt yourself. You don't think you are good enough. You don't think you are capable. You don't think you can, and therefore you are not able to move on.
Okay.
Yes.
So having understood that, what are some of the causes of self-doubt?
Yes. Self-doubt can come from different causes. One of them can be childhood upbringing, where probably you went through a traumatic experience, or as you are growing up, nobody ever told you you've done well. Everything you did as you're growing up, maybe you had someone that would rubbish it, you had someone that would punish you, you had someone that would actually drag you down. So anything that you did as you were growing up, you never believed you can do well because nobody ever told you you have done well. So it can also come from that particular scenario where you're growing up and nobody really believes you. It can also come from failure.
Yes.
That if you have failed once in a while, you start feeling like you are the failure itself. In life we make mistakes.
Yes.
So there are people that when they make mistakes, they're not able to move on from that mistake. They stick there, they blame themselves, they beat themselves up, and they cannot really be able to detach themselves from the mistake that they have made. Actually, in life, we are told there are two types of mindset, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. If you are a fixed mindset person, when you make a mistake, you can't move from that mistake. You stick there, you believe that you are the worst, you believe that you're not good enough, you believe that, you believe the worst about yourself. That's a fixed mindset person. But a growth mindset, even when they make a mistake, they detach themselves from the mistake and they acknowledge, yes, I've made a mistake. This is just that it is a mistake, and therefore I can do better tomorrow. And they pick themselves and they move on. Yeah. So again, it can be that kind of a scenario that can make someone not to believe in themselves or to doubt on themselves. And then if you are also not given an opportunity to make decisions and to do things on your own, then again it can also cause self-doubt. If you have to just consult everyone every now and then, it can also bring self-doubt. It's just like what is going on in the country nowadays, not nowadays, but recently, about this Pastor Mackenzie. Yeah. The followers have self-doubt. The followers don't believe in themselves. There are even some that were being rescued and being told, and they were resisting to be rescued. You know, they wanted to still continue with that kind of a thinking and that kind of a behavior. Self-doubt is when someone cannot be able to believe in themselves, and they cannot believe that they can make the right decisions. They cannot believe that they can do the right things. They cannot believe that they can be able to achieve something or to be able to get success in something. That's generally some of the things that cause self-doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've mentioned things to do with failure,
Yes.
not being able to achieve your goals.
Yes.
So how are people supposed to set realistic and achievable goals?
We always say that you set smart goals.
Yes.
And when you set smart goals, you are setting a goal that is specific. You are setting a goal that is measurable. You are setting a goal that is achievable. You are setting a goal that is realistic. And you are setting a goal that is time bound.
Yes.
Now, when we talk about realistic, that is where, again, where self-doubt can come. If you set a goal that is not realistic, definitely you're bound to fail. And when you fail, you start believing that you're not good enough. And that is not the issue. The issue is you set a goal that is not realistic at that particular time. Not that you can never be able to achieve it, but there are times that you may not. It's like now you, Hannah, waking up tomorrow and saying, I'm going to buy a BMW. Yeah. Or, and then you are a student, isn't it? How realistic is that goal that after 1 month you buy a BMW? How realistic is it at the stage that you are? But if we are talking about a businessman that is importing things and selling things, if they set such a goal, it's very realistic for them to be able to achieve. Yeah. So if you set an unrealistic goal and it's not achieved, sometimes you start feeling that it is not that you're not good enough because you have not been able to achieve that goal. So it's very important for us when we are achieving goals, when we are setting goals, we set goals that are specific, meaning that they are applicable to you, that they are measurable. You can be able to say, yes, I've been able to progress in this and that. Then it is realistic, something that you can be able to achieve, and then it's also time bound. What time will you achieve that particular goal? Okay. Yes. What are some of the things that someone who is undergoing self-doubt requires to do or have so that they can overcome the issue? Okay. Now, first of all, someone who has self-doubt, they need to cut themselves some slack, if I can say that. I mean, they need to cut themselves some slack means being able to let themselves be as human beings, number one, and being able to cut themselves some slack means being able to forgive themselves, being able to look past the mistakes that they have ever made, and being able to know that they are human beings, and a human being is to err. Sometimes once in a while, a human being can mess. Once in a while, a human being can make a mistake. Once in a while, a human being can do things that should not have done. Once in a while, a human being can fail. Even if it's an exam, a human being can fail. So they should first and foremost cut themselves some slack and know that they are human beings. And therefore, there are things that they can fail in and there are things that they can achieve. Once they do that, then they are able to pick themselves up. Now, there is something also called self-talk, how you talk to yourself. Self-talk is that which you think about yourself every now and then. And sometimes, whatever you think about yourself, those who have negative self-talk, they talk to themselves negatively. They keep telling themselves, I can't make it. I am not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I cannot achieve this. I cannot have this. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. That's negative self-talk. They even abuse themselves. There are people who abuse themselves, call themselves, how stupid am I? How, like that. And some of those things you cannot tell your friend. There are same things that you can tell yourself, but you cannot tell your friend. How unkind can you be to yourself? How unkind can you be to yourself? That there are things that you are telling yourself, but you cannot tell somebody else. It should start with you loving yourself, appreciating yourself, knowing that you are able, cutting yourself some slack, and carrying your head high. After all, not everyone is perfect,
Yes.
but people move on with their lives.
Yes.
So, cutting themselves some slack.
Mm.
Another thing, self-talk,
Mhm.
how they talk to themselves, and affirming themselves that they are able, just like everybody else. Because everybody else that has achieved something in life has learned or has been taught by someone or has been encouraged by someone to do it. In most of the times, we don't invent the wheel. We only follow what other people have been doing.
Yeah.
We only follow what other people have been doing. So if there are people that have achieved something, why not you? If there are people that have been able to become successful, why not you?
Yeah.
You just need to check what they are doing. You need to consult what they are doing. You need to get a mentor. You need to get someone who can be able to help you, a role model. And then finally, you can be able to achieve what other people have achieved. So again, check what other people are doing, and then you move on from there, so that you know that you are a human being just like any other person, and therefore you can equally achieve what other people have achieved. So affirming yourself, having positive self-talk, cutting yourself some slack, and then learning also, because if self-doubt has come because of your academic performance, then you need to improve that particular section of your life.
Okay.
If self-doubt has come because of relationship not working, you also need to see what is it that you do that is not right, so that you can be able to reform that particular area and can have successful relationships. So generally, learning, checking out what is it that is making you have self-doubt. Whatever is it is making you have self-doubt, you can check how can you improve yourself in that particular area.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So imagine a scenario where you're trying to do all these things, but you keep on feeling these are not going right. How do you stay motivated?
How do you stay motivated?
Yes.
There is no human being that totally fails in each and everything in life. There is none. It's only that human beings will only concentrate on the things that we have failed in. Remember, the Bible says, count your blessings, and name them one by one. That's basically what human beings need to do. There's nobody that fails in each and everything. So, in short, there is nobody who can lack motivation totally. Nobody. If you wanted to get motivated by something, you can get motivated. You start by what you have. Number one, you are alive. Number two, you are healthy. Number three, you are beautiful. Number four, there are so many things that you can count on,
Yes.
until finally you get motivated to continue with the things that you think you are failing, and you are able to achieve that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they need to focus
on the what they have already
on the good
achieved,
side.
on the good side,
Yes.
on what they have already achieved. Because there is no human being that has totally failed in each and everything. Even a baby, there are things that they achieve.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there's that fear that
Yes.
some people usually have that this might happen, or maybe they're not capable of doing it. That fear. How will they be able to overcome that fear?
Now, every time you have fear, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? That question, when you ask yourself, you realize that your fear may not be very, very genuine.
Okay.
What is the worst that can happen to you? If probably is applying for a job, what's the worst that can happen? If probably is going for an interview, what is the worst that can happen? And you realize that the worst that can happen is probably not getting that job.
Yeah.
But you will not die.
Yes.
You will not be. So that fear that people have, they should always ask themselves, what is the worst that can really happen? And when you keep asking yourself that question, you realize that your fear may not be genuine. Your fear may not be valid. But it's also important to sit down and find out, why do you have the fear? What is it that is making you fear to do something, or fear to achieve something, or fear to, what is it that is making you have the fear? Once you're able to identify where your fear is coming from, you can be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you had mentioned that we need to look up to our role models,
Yes.
mentors.
Yes.
How do you develop that good support system
Mm-hmm.
to walk you through and to help you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, you know, sometimes when we think of role models and we think of mentors, we normally imagine these mentors and these role models doing things for us, which is wrong. A role model, a mentor, will not do things for you. So you have to forge your own success. You have to forge your own success. Now, where a role model comes, where a mentor comes, is when you encounter a challenge. You go back to the mentor, you go back to the role model, and you ask them, how can I go through this? I am encountering this challenge in the course of doing this and that. How can I go? How can I go through this? How can I manage this? How can I manage the other? So the role model and the mentor is not supposed to do things for you. You are supposed to do things on your own, but you look towards them for support in terms of if you have challenges, or you look at their lives and get inspired by what they are doing. You get inspired by what they are doing, but they are not supposed to do for you. They are not supposed to do for you. They are not supposed, you can't say, my role model should get for me a job. They may not have that job to give you, isn't it?
Yeah,
but they can give you interview tips, but they can help you to do an application. They can help you in this and that. So that is how the role models can come in terms of helping you to reduce self-doubt and to be able to achieve what you desire to achieve.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we were starting,
Yes.
you talked about a fixed mindset
Yes.
and a growth mindset.
Yes.
So someone might be wanting to have that growth mindset.
Yes.
How do they cultivate that?
The growth mindset.
Yes.
Now, a growth mindset is a mindset where you believe, or you know, or you separate yourself from the mistakes. Not separating by saying I'm not the one, but separating by saying this is an event. This is just an event, but it is not my life. Because for fixed mindset people, if, for instance, if I give an example, if they fail a maths exam, a fixed mindset person will think of themselves as failures just because they have failed a maths exam.
Yes.
Whereas a growth mindset person who has failed a maths exam will say, I've failed maths, but I've passed in chemistry, I've passed in physics, I've passed in this other subject. So I will work on this maths so that I can pass it next time. But a fixed mindset will lament there. A fixed mindset will start lamenting there how they have failed math, how they are not good enough, how they have failed, and so on. So generally, a growth mindset person should be someone who looks at the positive side of things and works towards better, unlike a fixed mindset person who looks at the negative side of things and stay there. Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So I think we've covered almost everything.
Okay.
Maybe give us your final remarks.
My final remark is, let us not doubt ourselves. We may not compare ourselves and say, I will achieve the way so and so has achieved, but our achievements are still good enough. So this idea of comparing yourself with others and feeling that you are a failure because others have achieved more than you is what is also increasing the self-doubt. So you need to know that you have your own achievements, you have your own path in life, you have your own abilities, you have your own personalities, and already you have achievements. So continue to increase and continue to learn more and continue to educate yourself, continue to practice, continue to do the things that you are doing and improve yourself, unlike doubting yourself and sitting down and not doing anything. So it is possible. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wow, I hope you've learned one or two things. Personally, I've learned a lot of things that you have to believe in yourself. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
So don't just sit there.
Yes, that is true.
Yes, do something and move move on, walk away from that cocoon
Mm.
and believe in yourself.
Mm.
It is possible, it can be done.
Yes.
So ensure you also watch part 1 of this so that you can link up with this part. Don't miss any part. It is very important and very interesting. And we are going to end it there. My name is Wangere Njeri. I have been with Madam Joyce.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam Joyce.
Thank you.
Let's meet again next time on our next videos. Goodbye.
Thank you.